we chose the numbers because we thought, firstly, when we started, before even Angel Face was released, what numbers would go down really well on stage. And then the natural thing for the first album was really putting on most of the stage numbers we do that people have seen.
Hello, Andy.
Hi, Warren. You all right?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Thank you very much.
Very good. I know we'll have a few new listeners for this episode, so I'll briefly explain our background. For the last couple of years, Andy and myself have been producing monthly Glitterband podcasts under the banner of Shout It Out. And if not for today's guest, we would have been searching for another title and theme. Rock and Roll Queen was written and performed by Glenn Greenwood and our guest, who also produced the track. Before we introduce him, Andy, you have an excerpt from a recent interview with a familiar figure.
Yeah, this is really interesting. So Glenn Tilbrook and Chris Difford from Squeeze have recently been promoting their new album. Well, I say new, it's 50 odd years old, really, but it's been re-recorded. It's called Trixies, and there's been a lot of promotion, as I say. What's unusual about Trixies is that, obviously it goes back to 1974. And in a recent interview, Glenn spoke about his influences during Squeeze's earliest writing sessions. And he actually mentioned only 3 artists. The first one was T-Rex, second one was Paul McCartney, and the third was the Glitter Band. And I think our guest today might be quite happy to hear that, considering his history with Glenn. So hello, John Springate.
Good morning, or should I say hello rather than good morning? Or is it good evening? Good evening. Yes, that's quite a nice. Yes. Well, Glenn used to live at the where I used to live when I lived with my parents in the early Glitter Band days. We lived in a block of 6 flats, and there were 3 blocks, and Glenn used to live at the top block, and he used to knock on our door now and again, and because my brother were in this group called Olaf Grumpsneed. A very strange name, but it was thought of by the drummer that we had at the time, who said, look, if we think of a really mad name, people will remember it. And I think I did. So we were in this group, and we used to do weddings, socials, all sorts of things, and Glenn would knock on the door to borrow sheet music from my brother for Beatles stuff, and he would he would go home and learn it, and I think that's where there's a semi Beatles influence there with with Squeeze stuff. You can hear that come through. But what was so funny, I met Glenn at a couple of events, and he said Olaf Grumpsneed. It's just so funny, him saying Olaf Grumpsneed. I thought, my God,
he remembered it.
My God, you remember the name as well. He said every time I used to come down and borrow the sheet music, he said, I was always hoping that one day you'll invite me to join the band. And I thought, well, wow, that's really something. That's really something. But many years later, I think it was in the 90s. It was in the 90s. I went to Australia to produce a couple of albums. Yeah. And I was in the queue at the airport going through customs, and I turned around and there was Glenn. He was he'd been on the same flight as me, but I think he was probably up in business class or something like that. I don't know, but it was just very strange, So we went out for a drink that night, and we had another little chat about everything, and so that's quite. I must send him a message of thanks for that. That's really nice.
That's amazing. I was quite surprised.
Well, with Paul McCartney, John, he only mentioned 3 acts.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so you're up there when
Paul's okay, I suppose. He's not a bad writer,
But when you bump into him at the airport, you can tell him sorry for what you just said.
Now, John, on the topic straight away, when you came to Australia, then I reckon that was when you were working with Vanda and Young. Was that right?
Yes. I did 2 albums, one with John Paul Young.
You did one with John Paul Young. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Australian singer.
Yeah, I know him well.
Yeah, John Paul. Yeah, I did an album with him. We did a sort of an unplugged thing with his band that he was working with. And another with a guy who used to be in Home and Away. We did an album with him. His name escapes me. My God, I can't remember now. You got me on. You've got me on the go now. I'm trying to think.
You also, I think you did a remix for a Flash in the Pan song, which was Vander and Young, which was Waiting for a Train, I think.
I did Waiting for a Train. I did another one. There is another one lurking about. I don't know if that actually got released or not.
Okay.
It was was it the first one that they did?
That would be.
And it was more spoken. It was spoken.
That could be Haste at Peter or Down Among the Dead Men, I reckon. Possibly.
No, not that one.
Not those two.
That one. No, it was Waiting for a Train. I've forgotten them. There was another one. There were two.
Okay.
I can't remember now.
Right.
The brain's going. I tell you.
Know the feeling.
So, should we get into the first track, John?
Yeah.
Of Hey. Here we go.
So that was the opener to the album. Tell Him.
Yeah.
John, was that your song choice?
That was very high. Well, I'm proud to say that was my idea, that one.
Good.
We were rehearsing at a place in Camden Town, and we were just trying to think of songs that we could do. And it just, off the top of my head, I thought, Tell Him, that could be a possibility. And it just fitted perfectly. It just, it was a perfect blend of getting the drums and the guitar and the chant. Tell him. And I do it in a lower key these days. That was in D. So we did try it in A, but it was just too low, and we put it back to C now. So we just dropped it at a time. I've never been a person who's been, who sort of goes on that premise of like, the working class ethic. I've got to get that note. And I see it so many times with so many different singers that, like, they're a few years down the line. It's like, drop the key, just drop it down. It's very easy.
100%.
Yeah. So it was a good track, that one. Yeah, and of course Hello did it. And they had a lot of success with it. So I didn't make any money out of that one. It's a bit of a shame, really, but there you go. You can't win them all.
But it was a good opener to the album, I think. Very good choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If you had to score it off the cuff out of 10, what would you score that?
Oh, good 8. Good 8. Good 9. Yeah, even 9. Yeah. But it just fitted so well in the scheme of things,
But and in the set as well, in the live set as well. It's just like a great, especially in the 80s. It was incredible. And now.
Well, the funny thing is, and nobody really says anything. The funny thing is, I just repeat the first verse 3 times because I can never remember the lyrics.
That is so funny. I never knew that.
And
never picked that up.
And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter. Yeah. It fits perfectly.
When I first heard the song, John, it was on the radio, and I was convinced it was a Glitter Band original.
Oh, really?
Oh, well,
that's good. Yeah. Yes, it was originally done by a lady by the name of Miss Billy Davis. In fact, we did a gig with her. For somehow we were on the same bill. And she came into the dressing room. She said, do you mind if I do my version tonight? I said, no, of course. I said, don't be daft. It was your hit. I think it was the only one, actually. I think it was the only one she had.
If you look at the image of the Glitter Band, 2 drummers, star guitar, chant, particularly the haze, that record is just what you'd expect for the Glitter Band's first single. John, do you ever get tired of playing it live?
No, not really. None of them really. I don't get tired. I don't think that comes into the equation really, because they were so sort of dynamic and very, even though it was a slow pace, that song. I mean, it still had a lot of balls behind it. What I mean? So it's never. Oh God! I mean, the only one we don't do is "Love in the Sun." It's just impossible to do because there were so many harmonies on it, and it's a bit wimpy. It's a bit, no more school day. So we never bother with them. But the others, yeah, fine. The one I hate doing is Just For You. I just don't like Just For You.
We'll come to that.
Yeah, we come to that. we thought about pulling it out, John, but we thought we can't really have the album and just take one track out. So unfortunately, it'll come up in a few minutes. John, without patting you on the back too much, John, seriously, your bass line in the verse just lifts it so much, that melody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Crazy Horses, you see.
Yeah.
It's Crazy Horses.
Yeah, but that was on guitar. And you've transcribed it to bass.
There's a music in the air, everywhere, and that's, I mean, because I was just sitting upstairs in the studio, and we were just playing a bit with different ideas, and that came up, and I thought that fits quite nicely. That fits, that's good. That's good.
And this story about Pete sort of doing something on a piano, was it for this song? What's that all about?
He supplied the chords to the chorus. Yeah, but he didn't get any credit at all, which is very annoying. Yeah. And that worked really, really well. So so he supplied the chords to the chorus, and because you've probably known you guys, you probably heard the original demos that we did at Mayfair.
We might be about to hear it, John. Yes,
and we you can tell how it developed. Most of it was there. It's just the chorus wasn't formulated really, and eventually, in the studio, it was done. It was done in the studio.
Would you care to have a listen to a few seconds of the demo?
Oh, go on then, if you insist.
Change you to an angel.
Where would you have demoed that?
That was at Mayfair. All the demos.
All the demos.
They're all done at Mayfair. Yeah.
Ah, right. Because Pete said to me you used to use Advision and stuff, but that was
no, that was done at Mayfair. All those early demos were done at Mayfair, and then when we were demoing songs after that, there was a studio called TMC in Tooting, in South London, and we used to do all the demos there. They had a deal going there, so yeah.
I've not heard of that studio. DMC, did you say?
TMC.
Oh, TMC. Okay.
I don't think for 1 minute.
Tooting Music Studio. Yeah.
Forgotten his name now. He played harmonica. We did a harmonica track with him, but never got anywhere. But that's another story.
John, what do you think Mike's response was when he heard Jerry's lyrics for that demo?
I don't know.
But because they're not really...
I'd say ask him, but
oh, yeah.
They're a bit seedy,
but they're not really young teen friendly, are they? Looking at your target audience, you know?
Oh, no.
Selling down the river and all that sort of stuff, you know?
Well, no, the first bit was written about me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Always love to stay at home, never made it on your own. Because
Wow.
It was, I had an interest because you see, before I joined the band, I was singing. I was a bass player, and then when I joined Clem Curtis and the Foundations, while we were working in Canada, I transferred over to just singing, and we had a bass player come in, and I really wanted to be a solo singer. And I said that, I told Jerry that, and I said I really wanted to be a solo singer. And I've always said I like staying at home. I'm not too keen going out anywhere. I never used to club it or anything like that because I lived at home and all that.
Yeah.
So hence, always love to stay at home. Never made it on your own. There we are.
That was two versions of You Wouldn't Leave Me, Would You? The first was a demo put down at the Glitter Band's first recording session at Mayfair Studios in London, while the second is a re-recording that became the B-side to Angel Face. John, are you disappointed that the song didn't make the Hey track list?
No,
Considering there were so many
no.
covers, you know.
Yeah, well, it was a borrowed expression because Gary used to say, "You wouldn't leave me, would you?" on stage, and that's where we got it from. We nicked his idea,
right?
Well, I'm not too sure he was too happy about that. They might have considered that as a possible, next title for a new single for him,
Sure.
But it never developed that one anyway. So, yeah, it was an okay track, but it certainly wasn't a single anyway. It was just it sounds good as a B-side, because some B-sides can be really bad. But I mean, that wasn't a bad B-side. Got their money's worth on that one.
Shouted out one of your songs. Did you write that pre Glitter Band days?
No. I had a real bad time getting to grips with it, to be honest. Because before I joined, I was in more or less in a soul area of singing. And Mike and John Russell constantly said, "John, you're singing too soul-y," because I put on this sort of soul voice, And it took me a long while to get rid of that and be more pop, And my writing was not good at the beginning. I mean, it was dreadful. Some of the demos that I've got, the songs that I've done, oh my God, it's just dreadful. But that one clicked. It worked. It was the right avenue to go down. And I remember the brass line. I recorded that at Peer Music in Denmark Street because I was signed to them at the time, and so they gave me demo time to go in and do what I wanted to do. And I remember I knew over that spot I had to put some sort of hook on, and I remember coming up with it. Da 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 da. Oh, da 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 da. Which worked out to be a really good brass line, and also it was earmarked by Mike to be a single. It was, and then I think it was Just For You came out. Okay. It won instead. So, but it did shake up. John and Jerry's sort of ideas of like being complacent and thought, we better come up with one then, So which they did. But I was pleased with that song. And we do it on stage. It works well on stage as well.
And John, it was a single. That's Ice Cream shouted out.
Yeah.
Apologies for the crackles that's come off disc.
That's all right.
But it's a good sounding record, John. Do you know who produced it?
I have no idea. It was, it was Tom Watkins, who went on to manage Pet Shop Boys and Bros, and I knew him, and he liked the song, so he suggested that we get in the studio and I produce it, and he managed to get a deal with who was it, Fontana?
I think it's Fontana. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, Steve Lillywhite produced the B-side, but he was a tape op in those days, and I think he went on to do fantastic things. Yeah.
So was he the tape op when you did the A-side?
Yeah. He was very. He was a very. He went on to do U2, and but he was really. I remember him being very enthusiastic, even though I spent only a few hours. We finished it off in Polydor's studio in Hyde Park.
Yep.
We finished it off and mixed it there, and he was the tape op. And I just remember him being very, very enthusiastic, and that's quite amazing for somebody to rub off on you, in much as like remembering somebody like from 50 years ago, you know. And the sad thing about it is that Gary Deans, who was the singer on that, he died a few years later from he was a bit of a speedy boy. He liked he had a really fast car, and he got to a roundabout and he didn't stop, and he went straight into the roundabout and ended up in hospital, totally concussed. He lasted 6 days, only because he was extremely fit. He used to go running every day, and that's probably what stopped him from dying immediately, but he eventually died after 6 days. It was an awful moment for all of us, you know, because Gary was one of the good ones. He was a really nice guy, so very, very sad on that. But it didn't chart, unfortunately. We did get some radio play on it. And of course Tom went on to do other things, and I'm still in touch with Jeff Barnes, the guitarist, and also Rob Norman, who played keyboards. He's in the band now.
Yeah.
So
it's a cliche, John, but it's a small world, isn't it?
It's a small world, yeah, it certainly is.
But that song was being pedalled around theoretic, because it went over to Hello as well. They recorded a version of it, didn't they?
Did they? Oh, I don't know about that one.
They certainly demoed it, even if they didn't release it.
Right, there you go. Well, that's something I didn't know. Yeah, there you go.
We spoke to John before about that seemingly some of these things were being pedalled out, and you didn't seem to know whether that was Mike or Southern Music or whatever. I don't know. It's weird.
No, it would have been Mike probably tried it out as a demo or something. He tried it on him and it didn't work, maybe, you know. Not everything was done, you know, we're recording Hello tomorrow, doing this, that and the other, you know, because everybody was so busy, you know. That wasn't, there was no politics in that. It was just, if they did, fine, you know. But, I think Tell Him won in the end. I think that was the one for them, definitely.
So that was Sea Cruise.
Yeah, I've got nothing to say about this one at all. I think it was just, I don't know. I don't we even think we did it on stage, to be honest. Did we do it on
John,
stage?
you did. Leading up to the album, it was part of your act, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, well, in that case, it was a great track to do on stage.
I think it was. Look, I think it was Jerry's choice.
Yeah, could have been. Yeah,
I think there's some sleeve note to indicate. He talked about being in Sheffield and about going to the pub, and there was a jukebox, and that song was there, and then he'd always spend his 5p or whatever it is to play that song.
Yeah.
I think it was one of his favourites.
The thing is, listening to that, it sounds like it's a whole ensemble, it's a whole band playing live, but not all the tracks were done that way for this album, were they?
No, most of them were. Most of them, just get up there and just do it, you know. But what for the album, Mike had this sheet of paper, this graft, where he had, listed, star guitar, claps, backing vocals, chant. You know, all the things that were essential to the whole sound of the band. You know, but initially we'd play together. Definitely, you know, it would all be all together, and then do the overdubs. You know, and hand claps, because everybody ran a mile when it was hand claps. Everybody ran off. Mike insisted on doing at least five layers of claps, you know, to make it crunchy. But you know, there was no sampling in those days. You know, I mean, we you know, no click tracks, so you'd be standing there the whole song clapping, you know, for 5 takes. You know, so.
Jerry made a comment where I think he said he'd had enough of hand claps, and Mike said to him, Jerry, just think £1 per clap. How's that? Did Jerry ever mention that to you?
Sounds good to me. When do I start?
On drums for that, would it just been Pete playing? Was Tony involved in these sessions?
No, Tony would have been doing.
He wasn't later on.
I see. He would have been doing dum 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 dum, or something similar to that, depending on the phrasing and whatever Peter put down, you know. So he'd be there. He would be there. Okay. Yeah.
And what was it like working with Leander? Because you'd done a bit of studio work before joining the Glitter Band. Yeah. Obviously, you had John Hudson there, Mike Leander. What was your impression of working with Mike?
Well, it was very much the school teacher approach. He really was, you know, in charge, totally in charge. I mean, there's no question about it. And I mean, and he would accept ideas. He'd say no, yes, no, you know, whatever he thought of the idea. But he wasn't sort of like. You know, I kind of think, I don't think I'm putting this online with the Beatles and George Martin, but I kind of think it was that sort of situation, you know, because when they first started with George, he was telling them exactly what to play, you know, and you know, if you got it right, great. But he was great. He was great for getting it right. I mean, he was really enthusiastic about saying, nice one, Johnny. Very good, very good. You know, in his, you know, because he did go to public school, and I got to know a little bit more about Mike later on during the time that he was alive, and he came over to my house in Charlton to record. They bought the rights to Doctor Who, and they were doing demos that were possibly going to be, you know, in the show.
Was that Mike and Eddie?
I really got. Yes, yeah, and I really got to know him quite a lot better, because by then the whole sort of like producers group situation wasn't there, you know. Yeah. And you know, I think he had a lot of respect for me because I was out there doing stuff. You know, I was. You know, I'd got the studio in Rockstar, you know, where they used, you know, he and Gary used to come and record and stuff like that. So, you know, there was a different sort of relationship, you know, from what it was being in the studio in those early days, because we you know, in a way, it had to be a disciplined thing, because that album, I mean, the album, hey, took about 7 days to record. It was very quick, you know, as opposed to the Beatles' first album, one day. Yeah, but good. I mean, yeah, it's good to work with, definitely. You know, in terms of like he, you know, he, as I say, if he got something right, he was good with us.
That's
you know.
good. I don't know which band member it was quoted as saying that he used to be quite clumsy, used to bump into things and stuff quite a lot.
Did he?
Somebody was quoted as saying that. But
Was he quite eccentric,
I don't know
John?
about that. I wouldn't say that. No, not really. No.
John, would you mind having a look at the vision that the email we've just sent you links to? It's Studio Ferber, Paris. We recorded Hey in 1974. And for our listeners, you'll find a link to the vision in this podcast YouTube notes. And it'll come up and you'll see Histoire at the top of frame. So, John, we all start going down, there's one photo.
Well, actually,
Go on, John.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the menu because there's 3 studios, and I'm just checking out which one we were in. I think we were in Studio B. If you go to the menu on the right top right hand side, I think we were in Studio B. Yes, I'm pretty sure of that. It looks kind of familiar. I'm pretty convinced it was Studio B though. If you look at Studio B, I'm pretty convinced that it was the one. And also, just to let you know, that we actually did some overdubs for Listen to the Band there as well. Yeah, actually, I think we did all the vocal work there. And that's where Have You Been was born in its entirety. Because up until then, it had been a song called Where Have You Been? But it was an awful lyric. It was an awful lyric. Where have you been all my life, little girl? Were you waiting for the sun to come your way? And we thought, well, that's got to go for a start. I remember going back to the hotel that night and writing the lyrics for, well, you finally got your wings, all that section. And I did it all in one night. I did it, you know, we spent all day in the studio, and it was just getting so good. And I think I had the adrenaline to concentrate. I mean, yeah, I really sort of thought it's you know, it's Bowie's, you know, Starman, really. You know, I mean, it's a rewrite of that, but which gave me the inspiration. But all the you're the captain of the crew, your first ship, you're the planet to be explored. You be frozen for years, you won't get bored. I mean, all that came very, very quickly when I got back to the the hotel. It was good, but that's another album.
But I think your melody's a bit more original than Bowie's, because Starman's basically Somewhere Over the Rainbow, the chorus.
It's more Space Oddity, isn't it, than Starman, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I meant. Yeah. There we are. Yeah. What I do remember when we recorded that, when we did Listen to the Band at Fairbear, was Mike took us out to this burlesque show that was in Paris. Men dressing up as women and stuff like that, but it was more of a it wasn't sort of like some sort of, you know, dirge thing, you know. There was a lot of people on stage, and it was a review. It was really like a review, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. It was a good night. That was. Always remember that night.
Talking about recording and stuff like that, did John Hudson travel to France with you?
Yes, he did.
Because he gets accredited as sound supervisor, not engineer, on your albums. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I don't think there's much difference between the two, really. It's a terminology, but yes, but looking after the sound.
In France, there would have been the studio engineer twiddling the knobs.
There would have been. Well, no, I mean, John would have been, you know, in control of the desk, and all we'd have was a tape op.
Okay, right.
there'd just be a tape op, looking after that part of the process.
It seems that both you and John Russell were keen on that song, according to the Hey CD sleeve notes. Was it a fairly straightforward choice for the band to cover, John?
Well, we needed a ballad.
Yep.
So, it wasn't too hard to find one, really, that fitted. And that funny enough, I still do that one on stage. I still do that one. Mm. Yeah, it's still included. It's a classic Everly Brothers track. Really, really good. Yeah. So I'm just funny enough. I was just thinking, our voices blended quite well, actually.
Yeah, I was
doing the harmony,
saying that.
And John, Jerry's singing the lead vocal, and I'm doing the harmony, and it just fitted nicely. It was good. It was good.
This one's a bit different.
It's so high. It's so high.
But it's been a real crowd favourite in your shows, I'd say. Obviously, people will probably be aware it was on Gary's first album originally.
That's right.
But quite different arrangement. And I don't think you, with Gary, played his version with him live. You just adopted it because of that into your own set.
Yeah, and these days it's also a vehicle for Pete to do a drum solo as well. So that's that helps in the scheme of things a lot. A song that is built for it. So yeah, it's really good, really good.
We've seen a photo, John, of what seems to be the quarter-inch master of the album, just as before it went off to be basically mastered. And it appears at the last second on side one, Tell Him was made the first track, that Rock On was originally the first track. Do you know anything about that?
Okay. No.
It's actually just scribbled out. It's scribbled out and changed. You know?
We didn't really sort of have any chat about the running order. That was Mike's department. He made he made the running order. So it could have been. He might have changed it. I don't know. Don't know. Okay. Got me on that one.
We have a couple of questions from one of our roundtable guests. This is from Joe Swinford. John?
Yep.
His first question is, overall, for this album, what percentage was Mike Leander in charge, picking songs, arrangements, etc.?
Oh, it was very much a 50-50 thing. Well, I'd say no, it was more to do with the band, really. I mean, we were looking for songs I'd tell him we could do on stage, so we needed a stage act. It was very much that formula that George Martin did with the Beatles. It was just record the stage act, basically. And so, it was really left up to us. I mean, there was no suggestion from him that you should do this song, you should do that song. Yeah. We just presented the songs that we were doing, and he chose the ones that he thought would fit the bill. Yeah.